Hey everyone, hope you're well. So far, 2020 has been a bit of a dumpster fire. And due to COVID-19, so many exhibits and book related events have been canceled. So, welcome to the Charlesbridge virtual exhibit. Here you can join us for a fun and relaxing book chat. I want to apologize at the start, however, for the recording quality. In these times, you have to work with what you've got. So let's just get started. First, editor Karen Boss is going to introduce us to some of the books that she's edited in 2020. Enjoy!
There's not really a way for an editor to choose one or two of her books to buzz. They're all my favorite. And so here are all of my spring and summer 2020 titles that exist so far, either already on sale or that we have an advance copy of. From Bedtime, Dream Big's Little Scientists, to The Barnyard, A Kid of Their Own, From Your Own Backyard, You're Invited to a Mothball, to Purple Mountain's Majesty, America the Beautiful. From Numbers 9, A Book of No-Net Poems, to Sports, Ballet Ball, to Climate Change, Looney Little, The Ice Cap is Melting, there's something for everyone at Charlesbridge. Every one of these books was a pleasure to work on with the authors and illustrators, and each offers something pretty great to young readers. Check them out.
Thanks, Karen. And now we're going to introduce our spring 2020 titles. First up, Bunny's Big Surprise by Phyllis Limbacher-Tildis. This book released on January 7th and is the perfect book to share at Easter. But it's also a great introduction to the wetlands habitat and the creatures that live there. This story takes place in the lowlands of Georgia, where Phyllis lives. With its sweet story and classic storybook illustrations, this is sure to be a perennial favorite. Next is Looney Little, The Ice Cap is Melting by Diana Hutz Aston and illustrated by Kelly Murphy. This book released on January 14th. Celebrate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day with this clever, climate-focused twist on the classic Chicken Little story. Earth Hour, a lights-out event for our planet, is by debut author Nanette Heffernan and debut illustrator Bao Lu. Earth Hour was celebrated this year on March 28th, and it's celebrated annually one day in March at 8:30 p.m. your local time. But you can celebrate the Earth and conserve energy by turning off the lights any day. Every day. Earth Hour is available now. Next is Welcoming Elijah with gorgeous illustrations by Susan Gall. Author Leslia Newman visits one of her favorite childhood memories, opening the door for Elijah during Passover Seder. A boy and his family and friends celebrate the traditions of the holiday in their warm and loving home. Outside, a tiny stray kitten wanders lonely and hungry. When the time comes to welcome Elijah, the young boy very excitedly opens the door to find the kitten waiting. He names him Elijah, and the whole family welcomes the newcomer. It's a wonderful story for celebrating Passover, and it's a sweet story of friendship and kindness to animals. And A Kid of Their Own by Megan Dowd Lambert and illustrated by Jessica Lannon. In this fresh and funny follow-up to the Ezra Jack Keats honor book, A Crow of His Own, Rooster Clyde is forced to adjust to new roommates on the farm when Fran the goat and her kid Rowdy take up residence. Can Clyde handle having a new kid in town? And in a wordless story in the illustrations, Farmer Jay and Farmer Kevin are getting ready to welcome their own adopted child to the farm. Dream Big, Little Scientists by Michelle Schaub and illustrated by Alice Potter. This book released on February 18th. STEM kids know that a good night's sleep is essential for brain development, so you can spark curiosity and exploration with this innovative bedtime story for budding scientists that introduces 11 branches of science, from astronomy to physics to chemistry to geology. This STEM picture book will help kids get excited to explore. Watch this.
Dream big, little scientists, and close your sleepy eyes. 12 kids get ready for bed in rooms decorated to match their love of different sciences. Geology, oceanography, physics, and more sciences to love. Dream away, young scientists. Tomorrow you'll learn more when you awake and venture out to ask, observe, explore.
Ballet Ball by Erin Dion and illustrated by Gillian Flint. This book released on February 25th. Nini loves everything about ballet, the sparkles, the costumes, the twirling. But in the spring, there's only baseball, and Nini hates baseball. But when she makes a game-winning catch using her ballet moves, she realizes that change might not be so bad after all, and teamwork means everybody gets to be a star. And now from our teen imprint, Charlesbridge Teen, comes the paperback edition of Contagion, Book 1 of the Dark Matter Trilogy by Terry Terry, in which 3 teens are on the run from the government? Maybe. A deadly virus is spreading, and Callie, Shay, and Kai might know how to stop it. Book 2, Deception, is available in hardcover, and the thrilling conclusion, Evolution, releases this fall. More on that later. Here we go digging for Dinosaur Bones by Susan Lendroth and illustrated by Bob Kohler. This book released on March 3rd. Little paleontologists are invited on a fossil dig, set to the tune of Here We Go Round the Mulberry Bush. Hike the trail, scan the ground, and make a find. Then discover how to build a T-Rex from its bones. This includes hand-play motions for sing-alongs and bite-sized science sidebars. There's also a downloadable poster that dinosaur enthusiasts will love at charlesbridge.com. Next up, One Little Lot, The 1-2-3s of an Urban Garden by Diane C. Mullen and illustrated by Oriole Vidal. This released on March 3rd. In their review, School Library Journal said, "It's refreshing to read a story where people are able to put aside their differences and unite to complete a goal that everyone can take pride in and share. In this story, we count all the ways, 1 to 10, an urban community unites to clean up an abandoned lot. From building planter boxes to pulling weeds to planting seeds, everyone works together. Strangers become friends, eventually sharing in a special feast with a harvest they grew." Now available in paperback, Reading Picture Books with Children by Megan Dowd Lambert shares the secrets of the whole book approach to exploring books and stories. Anyone who shares picture books with children can expect a eureka moment in this guide. Parents, educators, librarians, children's lit specialists, booksellers, babysitters, publishers, anyone. Storytime will never be the same, and children's comprehension and love of story will be lifelong. Rise Up, The Art of Protest by Joe Rapon, with a foreword by Mari Copany, also known as Little Miss Flint. We all know that human rights belong to every single one of us, but they are often under threat. Developed in collaboration with Amnesty International, Rise Up encourages young people to engage in peaceful protest and stand up for freedom. Images of protest posters celebrate the ongoing fight for gender equality, civil rights, LGBTQ rights, refugee and immigrant rights, peace, and the environment. This is published simultaneously with an adult edition from our adult imprint Imagine called The Art of Protest. Remember a few years ago when coloring books were so popular for stress relief and calm? I think it's time to get the colored pencils out again. Travel to the balmy Florida Keys, where far off the beaten path is a tropical paradise known as Grima Grove. Ralph Mazziello, the master drawing educator, shares for the first time the incredible exotic fruits and flora of this unique treasure in Fantastic Fruits, a Grima Grove coloring book. Available now. Next up, This is a Book to Read with a Worm by Jody Wheeler-Toppin and illustrated by Margaret McCartney. You can foster a love of animals and science with this charming activity guide for finding and observing earthworms. Hands-on experiments help young biologists answer questions like, which end is which? And do worms make noise? Insider tips encourage readers to think like a scientist and handle living things with care. Equally entertaining with or without a worm friend. Now available in paperback, The White House is Burning, August 24th, 1814, by Jane Sutcliffe, with illustrations by Alexander Farquharson. The War of 1812, sandwiched in between Revolutionary War and Civil War studies, may not receive as much attention, but as a pivotal part of the U.S.'s continued growth as a democracy, this is an engrossing, in-depth look at a singular event in American history. Readers meet the major players and the actions they took to fight the British and to defend their country. Jane Sutcliffe draws upon first-person accounts to create a compelling chronology of the events of August 24th, 1814. Now available in paperback and in Spanish, The One-Day House by Julia Durango, with illustrations by Ezra Jack Keats, illustrator honor recipient Bianca Diaz. Wilson dreams of all the ways he can help improve his friend Gigi's house so that she'll be warm, comfortable, and happy. One day, friends and neighbors from all over pitch in to make Gigi's house safe, clean, and pretty. Inspired by a friend's volunteerism, Julia Durango tells the story of community and togetherness, showing that by helping others, we help ourselves. Further information about Labor of Love, United Way, and Habitat for Humanity is included at the end of the book. How Long is Forever by Kelly Carey, with illustrations by King Zhuang. Mason is waiting for Nana's blueberry pie and complains that it's taking forever. So Grandpa challenges him to figure out how long forever really is. Is it as long as Grandpa's had his tractor? As long as it took Nana to grow the roses to the top of the chimney? After a trip to the farm to figure out the answer, Nana's pie is ready, and Mason finally got the answer. Forever is how long he'll love Nana's pie, and how long he'll love Nana and Grandpa too. You're invited to a Mothball, a nighttime insect celebration by Lori Griffin Burns, with photographs by Ellen Harasimowicz. Kids are usually asleep when moths come out at night, but discovering the diverse moth population is simple. Stay up late and set up a party for moths. Nature centers and museums host events called Mothballs each summer, but kids can create their own right at home. Captivating photographs show how to lure in moths and how to study them. And if you're interested, hop on over to our author video page to get some backyard science from Lori Griffin Burns. Let's talk about books releasing this summer. From Ruth Spiro, the author of the best-selling Baby Loves Science series, comes a spin-off board book series, Baby Loves Political Science. First up, Democracy. Baby learns what it means to participate in a democracy where everyone has a voice in electing our leaders. There are many ways for all of us, including the youngest children, to participate, such as making signs and sending postcards, campaigning, attending rallies, and of course, getting out the vote. Illustrated by Greg Paprocki, election year has never been so adorable. Guest editor Isaac Bliven tells us about his favorite Charlesbridge 2020 titles, along with his mom, Julie Bliven.
Isaac and I are here to wish you a happy spring and to tell you about 4 upcoming Charlesbridge picture books that just released this spring. Spring is a time for change and surprises, and we're all going through a lot of different surprises and changes right now, so there's no better time to embrace amusing and engaging picture books. The first one we're going to talk about is Welcoming Elijah, a Passover Tale with a Tale. This is by Leslie Newman and Susan Gow. It's a poetic celebration of unexpected friendship, and it's also just rich with themes of connection. It's a Passover story, but also a lovely, timeless story for anyone who might not otherwise celebrate Passover. You like this one, huh? Thank you. We also are big fans of Bunny's Big Surprise. The author-illustrator is Phyllis Limbacher-Tildes. What does Bunny find by the side of the water? An egg, and spoiler alert, it's not an Easter chick inside that egg. This is a lovely story full of surprises as well. And we're also just releasing One Little Lot, the 1, 2, 3s of an urban garden. We've got the counting concept in this book by Diane C. Mullen, illustrated by Oriel Vidal. And it's really a surprising story of transformation. A community transforms an abandoned lot into a garden that is a place where everyone is welcome. You sneak peeks of the illustrations there. And then last but not least, Isaac is digging into Earth Hour. Earth Hour is an actual event celebrated annually. It's sponsored by the World Wildlife Fund. You and your family and friends can celebrate and honor Earth Hour on March 28th. In order to celebrate Earth Hour, a lights out event for our planet, you would turn off your lights, non-essential lights, for 1 hour. All 7 continents celebrate Earth Hour. You can see the monuments and people across the continents who celebrate this. It's a time for us to reflect on the energy that we use and how we can launch into spring and the coming year conserving more of that energy. This is by Nanette Heffernan and illustrated by Val Liu. So, we wish you a happy spring full of welcome surprises and lasting stories from Charlesbridge, Julie, and who are you? Isaac. Yay!
I don't. New in paperback, Aggie Gets Lost by Lori Rees with illustrations by Frank Dormer. This is part of the Aggie and Ben series about a little boy and his dog, Aggie. In this one, Aggie gets lost while they're playing in the park, but sadness turns into determination as Ben retraces his steps, makes posters, and enlists other people to help turn Aggie from a lost pup to a found one. The incomparable Wendell Miner honors the timeless and beloved poem America the Beautiful with his classic, luminous illustrations. Celebrate America's ideals and marvel at her natural and historic wonders, from her alabaster cities to her purple mountains' majesty. Back matter includes biographies of poet Catherine Lee Bates and composer Samuel Ward, as well as brief introduction of all the sites visited in the book, from New York City to Yosemite National Park, from sea to shining sea. America the Beautiful is available now. Oye, that was Juan Garcia Esquivel. Now out in paperback is Esquivel, Space Age Sound Artist by Susan Wood, with groovy illustrations by Duncan Tonatiuh. This crazy good picture book biography about the father of space-age bachelor pad music will blow your mind. Skippity-doo-whiz-bang-boom on over to the Esquivel page on charlesbridge.com to hear more of Esquivel's unique sound. Okay, sorry about that. Next up is Big Test Jitters by Julie Danneberg and illustrated by Judy Love. Reissued with a new cover and a new title. This is part of our very popular Jitters series. Funny and refreshing because everyone gets the jitters sometime. Now available in paperback is Seashells, More Than a Home by award-winning writer Melissa Stewart and illustrated by Sarah Brannon. This expository nonfiction exploration reveals the remarkable versatility of shells. And now available in Spanish and paperback, Lola Goes to School by Anna McQuinn and illustrated by Rosalind Beardshaw. I don't know about you, but I don't want Lola to grow up. But she's excited about going to school. A comforting, cheerful read that demystifies the school day for preschoolers and kindergartners. Lola and her family prepare for the first day of school the night before, then get up early, take pictures, and head to class. Lola puts her things in her cubby, chooses her activities, reads, plays, and has a snack. Before she knows it, it's time to sing the goodbye song and rush into Mommy's arms for a warm reunion. It's available now. Michelle Schaub's summer-infused collection of poems, Fresh-Picked Poetry, A Day at the Farmer's Market, is now available in paperback. Young readers spend a day at an urban farmer's market, perusing the stands, where they find out about Farmer Greg's free-range eggs and a necessary mess. This inspires literacy and healthy eating choices. Hey, hi there. Love nonettes? I'm sure you do. What are they, you ask? You don't know a nonette? Not even one little one? Actually, they're all the same size. They're poems, of course, and here's your first. Fans of clever poetry and numbers rejoice. 9 by Irene Latham and illustrated by Amy Huntington is a book of 9-line poems called No Nets, all about the number 9. Topics include baseball's 9 players, idioms like the whole 9 yard, historical features like the Little Rock 9, and more. This book was going to release on June 9th, but because of current events, we're shipping now. Want more 9? Visit our author video page where Irene Latham will play Beethoven's 9th for you. Dear Diary, It's Me, Thoughts, Memories, Secrets, and Dreams by Christina Pettit, illustrated by Francesco Fagnani and translated by Mirta Camino. This is more than your average diary. It's a lovely gift for the creative preteen in your life to record all their innermost thoughts in a fun, fill-in-the-blank journal. It's got writing prompts, thoughts to consider, activities, and more. This book releases in June. Also re-releasing from the Jitters series is First Year Jitters by Julie Danneberg and Judy Love, following the hilarious and caring antics of Mrs. Sarah Jane Hartwell and her class of curious kids. Coming this July. Next up is Runaway Pumpkins by Teresa Bateman with illustrations by Stephanie Pfizer Coleman. This book releases in August. A class field trip to the pumpkin patch almost ends in disaster when a bumpy road and a faulty bus storage lock release a load of pumpkins back into the wild. The students are left with one single pumpkin, but with good humor, they decorate it together for the harvest fair. But in a surprise twist, neighbors bring the lost pumpkins to their fair in the form of pies, cakes, soups, and even fries. Did you say you needed more pumpkin stories? Here's one. We're Going on a Pumpkin Hunt by Mary Hogan Wilcox with illustrations by Lynn Munsinger. In this spin on the classic song, We're Going on a Bear Hunt, Pumpkins in Autumn take center stage. A spooky nighttime hunt for the biggest pumpkin in town results in a fright, but also a great adventure. The perfect read aloud, the call and response construct, and Lynn Munsinger's classic illustrations will make this a favorite to be read again and again. This is available in August in plenty of time for Halloween. And this is a beautiful re-release of Come Out and Play by Maya Ajmira and John Ivanko with photographs of children from around the world. If you woke up tomorrow in Egypt with a yen for a good game of tag, you could find it. Then you could play Go Fish with some new friends in Thailand. Later, you could seesaw until the cows come home in Ireland. Everyone loves to play, and the universal appeal of games and goofing around is joyfully evident in Come Out and Play. Brilliant full-color photographs portray exuberant, playful kids from over 35 countries engaging in games of all kinds. Come Out and Play releases in August. We spoke about Terry's Dark Matter trilogy earlier with the paperback release of Book 1, Contagion. Book 2 is Deception, and now a thrilling showdown brings the Dark Matter trilogy to a satisfying close in Evolution. Shay is trapped at the multiverse compound while looking for the real Callie, and an unforgiving Kai is her best chance at outsmarting Alex and saving countless lives. A lot of intrigue, adventure, and page-turning suspense. Evolution releases in August. Our series about little book-loving Lola is extremely popular. Now the first books in the series have been reimagined for the littlest listeners. Board book editions of Lola at the Library with Mommy and Lola Loves Stories with Daddy are available in August. Ruth Spiro's Baby Love Science series has inspired parents and educators to introduce STEM topics to little ones in the very cutest way. Ruth and illustrator Irene Chan explore baby's personal world in Baby Loves the Five Senses. Already available is sight and hearing, and coming this August, baby experiences taste, touch, and smell. With a diverse cast of characters and simple, appealing text, these chewable board books will instill a sense of wonder. Oh, here's a good one. Releasing in September is Rare and Blue, Finding Nature's Treasures by Constance Van Hoven and illustrated by Alan Marks. A variety of rare blue species, from the blue lobster to the blue-black bear, are unique for a reason. Travel across Earth to discover 8 species that are blue in color and are either naturally rare, threatened, or endangered. A surprise ending celebrates that planet Earth is the rarest and bluest of them all. We've made it to fall. There's some beautiful books on this list that you're really going to love. Hotpot have Hotpot. I cannot wait for you to see this one. This is by debut author-illustrator Vincent Chen, Hotpot Night. What's for dinner? A Taiwanese-American child brings his diverse neighbors together to make a tasty communal meal. Together, they cook up a steaming family dinner that celebrates community, cooperation, and culture. This also includes a recipe by Vincent's mother for Hotpot. You're going to love this one. It's coming out in September. This is an interesting one. Counting Kindness, 10 Ways to Welcome Refugee Children by Hollis Kerman and illustrated by Baru. Hollis is the founder of the Human Rights Watch Netherlands Committee. Endorsed by Amnesty International, Counting Kindness is a labor of love for Hollis. More than half of the world's refugees are children, with millions of kids fleeing wars, floods, and other scary situations. This is a warm and welcoming introduction to immigration, refugees, and inclusivity as children count from 1 to 10 with one vote, 2 helping hands, and the generosity and kindness of many. This releases in September. Releasing in paperback in September is A House in the Sky and Other Uncommon Animal Homes. Caldecott honoree Steve Jenkins gives young readers a tour of the residences of 14 different animals. Some animals build nests, some live in a hole in the ground, and some even live in books. Robin Gurley's stylish, scientifically accurate illustrations put the final polish on this stunning collection. Back matter includes more information about each animal and their habits and their habitat. Next up, Night Night Curiosity by Brianna Kaplan Sayers, the author of the best-selling Where Do Diggers Sleep at Night, and illustrated by Ryan O'Rourke. In this rhyming bedtime book, a girl whose mother works at NASA imagines that she's exploring Mars with the Curiosity rover as she gets ready for bed. She describes taking off, observing Mars, communicating with mission control, and operating the rover. Young space explorers everywhere will want to head to Mars too. This book releases in September. Also releasing in September is Plymouth Rocks, The Stone Cold Truth, illustrated by Sam Streed. Master storyteller Jane Yolen marks the 400th anniversary of the Mayflower's arrival by channeling the voice of Plymouth Rock itself. Playful, clever verses offer a comprehensive window into the events leading up to the 1620 landing and beyond, dispelling common misconceptions along the way. Alternating with Rock's poems is a witty analysis of the truthfulness of its statements, told in the voice of the fact-checker. Truly, a history book for today's savvy media consumers. Have I mentioned the Baby Loves Science series to you yet? This fall, we release the Baby Loves Science, The 5 Senses boxed set. This includes sight, hearing, smell, touch, and taste, all by Ruth Spiro and illustrated by Irene Chan. Also by Ruth Spiro, but this time illustrated by Greg Paprocki, is Baby Loves Political Science, Justice. We spoke earlier about the first book in this new spin-off series, Democracy. This time, Baby sees that it's Mom who arbitrates the rules at home. He gets a glimpse at how his judge mother interprets the laws when he goes with her to court. A funny and gentle introduction to the judicial branch of government and how justice is served. In this middle-grade novel, author Annette Schaap asks herself, what if the Little Mermaid left a child behind that didn't belong in either world? She weaves a fantastical story inspired by both the light and the dark of fairy tales. After a shipwreck, the lighthouse keeper's daughter, Lampy, is sent to work at the Admiral's house, where it is rumored a monster lurks. What she finds is the neglected, disfigured son of the Admiral. She names him Fish. The two children join up with other misfits, mermaids, and pirates for a daring, page-turning maritime adventure. Of Salt and Shore releases in September. Next up, Quill Soup, a stone soup story by Alan Durant and illustrated by Dale Blankenauer. With brightly colored art and engaging characters, this retelling of the well-known stone soup story will captivate young readers. Youth activism is on the rise, and not a moment too soon. In No Voice Too Small, 14 Young Americans Making History, authors Lindsay Metcalf, Keela Dawson, and Jeanette Bradley shine a light on the kids who are making a difference. Mari Copany demanded clean water in Flint, Michigan. Jazz Jennings insisted as a trans girl that she be able to play soccer on the girls' team. 14 poets, including Nikki Grimes, Tracy Sorrell, Leslia Newman, and more, honor these young activists who know how to be the change they seek. No Voice Too Small is available in September. Releasing in October is Desert Diary, Japanese-American Kids Behind Barbed Wire by award-winning author Michael O'Tunnell. May Yanagi was 8 years old when she started school in the Topaz War Relocation Center. Her third-grade class kept an illustrated diary full of details about schoolwork, sports, pets, and holidays. These first-hand accounts convey the harsh challenges experienced by the children of this prison camp, as well as their remarkable resilience. This dark period in American history took place only 75 years ago, still within living memory, and today we are seeing immigrant and refugees from Central America and Mexico being housed in those former internment camps. Desert Diary tells a story that's relevance rings true for the children in our own backyard today. And from our teen list on Charlesbridge Teen is Above All Else by Dana Allison Levy. Rose and Tate have been climbing for years, training in harsh weather and traveling all over the world. The goal that kept them going? Summiting Mount Everest, the highest point on Earth. Accompanied by Tate's dad, the two will finally make the ultimate climb at the end of their senior year. But neither Rose nor Tate are fully in the game. Not only is there a simmering romance between them, but Rose can't get her mind off her mother's illness, while Tate constantly fails to live up to his ambitious father's standards. Above All Else releases in October. Launching this fall from Charlesbridge is an exciting and important new series called Storytelling Math. Award-winning author-illustrator Grace Lynn has created the inaugural set of 4 board books that highlight simple math concepts with stories that will engage and delight little readers. Set in spring, summer, autumn, and winter, our diverse cast of little mathematicians explore measurement, discover the wonder of spheres, learn about spatial sense, and play with fractions. Storytelling Math releases in October. Also from the Storytelling Math series is Leah and Luis, Who Has More, by Anna Crespo and illustrated by Giovanna Medeiros. Twins Leah and Luis squabble over who has more of their favorite Brazilian snacks. They compare with measurement, counting, estimation, and weight, using math to solve their argument. The Storytelling Math series shows that all children can be mathematical thinkers. Each book includes ideas for exploring math at home with your children, developed in collaboration with math experts at STEM education nonprofit Turk Inc. under a grant from the Heising Simons Foundation. And also from the Storytelling Math series is The Animals Would Not Sleep by Sarah Levine and illustrated by Marta Alvarez Magans. With bedtime fast approaching, young Latinx scientist Marco wants to sort his stuffed animals into categories that will help them comfortably settle down. He observes, compares, and groups, but the animals refuse every classification. Finally, Marco combines math with empathy to get the most important result: maximum snuggles. This book releases in October. And last but not least is Circumference Gets Decimus Point by Cindy Nussbander and illustrated by Wayne Guillen, the latest addition to the Circumference series. In this one, Baker Pia is back with a handy way of counting by tens and fractions. When she's kidnapped by a family of ogres, Tent the father, Hundert the mother, and their 10 daughters, una to decima, Pia is asked to help the ogres prepare a feast for a large celebration, which will involve tens, hundreds, even thousands of pieces of dessert. Circumference has been teaching rudimentary math concepts for decades now, and this book releases in October. Well, that's the end. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Charlesbridge and Charlesbridge Teen list for 2020. Take a moment to go over to your social media and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Also, you can check out our books at Edelweiss and NetGalley. You can visit us at charlesbridge.com. Feel free to email us anytime at books@charlesbridge. Also, remember, Charlesbridge books are distributed by Penguin Random House. Take care.